The reason that I really wanted to do Spirited Away is because it is, I think, undeniably the work of a total genius, even if it's somewhat inaccessible for cultural reasons or psychological reasons or whatever.
I agree fully.
But for me, I think the thing that I've thought about almost as much as I've thought about Spirited Away is a review of Spirited Away that I read and then clipped, as you can see, from the Financial Times, September 2003.
Oh, so this is stuck in your head.
I mean, yeah. So
yes.
So here's some context. When Spirited Away came out, I was at the time a political cartoonist, and I had all these file folders where I would keep track of like Afghan atrocities, Iraqi atrocities, just like all these horrible file folders that were depressing to look at. And then I had this other file folder I just called Great Writing. And there was just stuff in here that I really enjoyed. Like, this is a list of all of Kool Keith's personas.
Oh, that's cool.
Dr. Octagon, Fly Ricky the Wine Taster, Mr. Gerbic. It always just made me happy to have this. And then this is an academic article written by my godfather called Treatment of Hernia in the Later Middle Ages, Surgical Correction and Social Construction. My godfather is a historian of medicine. This is a very intense article about how they performed hernias in 1300s. Spirited Away review.
Okay.
The author
is Nigel Andrews, who I think is still the finance. In fact,
I believe you're right.
He is, because I have since been in touch with him in anticipation of this podcast.
What?
Recording.
He's 72 years old.
Yep.
He's sort of emeritus.
Totally. So I love this review. I'm not going to read the entire review, but you're going to have to indulge me and let me read certain sections of this review.
100%.
And the first thing I noticed, I can't remember if I read this review before or after I saw Spirited Away, but the date...
Were you a frequent reader of the Financial Times? Was it just...
Oh, well, I was a political cartoonist. I was a subscriber.
Sure.
I subscribed to the Financial Times and the New York Times and 100 million policy journals.
Right.
And I liked Nigel Andrews' reviews. Like, he reviewed a lot of international movies and stuff.
Right,
you know?
absolutely.
Anyway.
Sure. Great critic.
So the thing to know about this review is that Nigel Andrews grades movies on a star system, 1 through 5 stars. And the first thing that I noticed about this review was it's 6 stars. He broke his own star system. So when I first picked it up, I was like, there's a printing error. Like, with 6 stars, and Mr. Andrews only goes to 5 stars. First sentence of his review. Yes, that's right. 6 stars.
So he's like, I know.
Yeah.
Get ready.
David is suplexing in
I
this
know,
review.
exactly. This review gets me so fucking amped. Listen to this. This is when it's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Somebody liked a movie.
My adrenaline is really high right now.
Totally. Yes, that's right. 6 stars. Exception must be made for the exceptional.
Wow.
Spirited Away is a feast of wonderment, a movie classic, and a joy that will enrich your existence until you too are spirited away. Rush now while life lasts.
It is pretty crazy to say, like, not only is this a great movie that you should see, but this might be a thing you remember until you die, which you will.
Oh, yeah.
But more importantly, you do not want to risk dying before you see this film.
Totally.
Do not leave.
Yeah, right, exactly. Death is inevitable. Right. Seeing Spirited Away is up to you. Yeah. So,
I can't imagine anyone who's like, see Shrek now while life lasts. You know what I mean? But for Spirited Away, it's like, this is part of the core curriculum, y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
you might get hit by a bus.
Here, I think, here's.
See Spirited
I think
Away
this is the core of the entire review.
Okay.
He's summarizing everything and putting it in the context of Princess Mononoke and all this stuff. What is the film about? It's about 122 minutes and 12 billion years.
10 comedy points.
It sums up all existence and gives us a mythology that's good for every society, amoebal, animal, or human that ever lived. And then the other thing he says is, when he's talking about the final act of the film, I love this. He says, Miyazaki supplies a coda, really a whole last act, that's so ravishing and imaginative that Keatsianly we want to give up and expire on the spot. He wanted this movie to kill him.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just that thing of like, I don't think I can do better than this. Like, maybe this should be the moment.
Yeah,
well, right,
exactly.
I think that's why he gave it 6 out of 5 stars. And the reason that I've always found this review so just like exciting and also moving is I think this is a record of someone having an encounter with the sublime.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Right? Which I think this movie, even like there's a lot about this movie I don't understand, and there's a lot about this movie that's opaque to me. But
Same
I
here.
understand how someone could watch this movie and just feel like this is on a whole different level. You know, there's something about it that is just, I don't know if it's the dream logic or it's just some of those incredible images, you know, but it's just like, this is 6 out of 5 stars.